or like a heart issue.
So, okay, this is now the intro to the stream where we're talking about what exactly it means to death by Jamaharan with Curzon Dex. And I don't think it was dehydration. I think it was probably like a heart attack.
Probably.
But anyway, so today's episodes, oh yeah, but this is a stream where we watch Star Trek, and you can join the Discord in the link in the description, and there's a voice chat, and it's just open, man, it's fine. But what episodes? Living Witness, which is the really good one. The others are okay. Living Witness, where diplomacy fails. Demon, which is sort of creepy, not exactly body horror. It's just replicants.
Mm-hmm.
Replicants?
Tom Paris goes through strange and unusual changes in his body, and Janeway needs to have a talk with him.
Didn't we already have
Oh,
that?
yeah, it's puberty.
Especially-
He's done that a couple times.
Yeah, wait, actually, hold on. How many times has his body been, like, altered against his will? We had
I think,
Threshold, Vis-a-vis.
and then, yep, I think this is number 3. And then the last episode today is 1, which I always think is that Borg drone from the future by the Nazi guy, but it's not. That's a different episode. The 1 is the one where 7 is the only one awake on the ship because stasis, nebula, radiation reasons. Don't worry about it.
And everyone doing different, like, levels of pain, screaming in agony is absolutely hysterical.
Yeah.
Like, they were all given the cue, scream in pain, but not told which intensity.
Ah.
It's,
Harry Kim's just in the corner going, ow. Oh, I want to see Tuvox. Oh, Tuvox is probably intense. Or really comical. One or the other.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Do you know what I regret not making a joke of during Vis-a-Vis?
No, I don't know what you regret not making a joke of.
So, you know that scene where Tom Paris is having his initial nightmare and the alien comes up over the cockpit? I wanted to say, there's a man on the wing of the plane.
There's something on. Oh no.
Just quote Shatner during that Twilight Zone episode.
I'm sure we'll have multiple opportunities where a crewman looks out the window and thinks they see something. Especially there's probably at least one of those in the episode Night. We're in that void, right? No stars or anything, and they freak out at the windows. I bet someone probably imagined something out there.
I think, if I recall correctly, Neelix is starting to have panic attacks.
Look out the window and there's just nothing. Yeah, that'd probably be a little anxiety-inducing.
I mean, it's the reason why if someone told me, Josie, do you want to go to space? I said no.
Well, it's not... You would see stars in real space.
No, I mean, like, if I got shot up in a rocket or something, and, like, my safety was assured, and I would not die a horrible burning death.
You still wouldn't want to go?
No.
Because void?
Void.
But it's a cool void.
So, I suffer from, like, thalassophobia, where I do not like deep, dark water.
I don't think humans tend to like that by default because it signals danger.
We left the
Yes.
ocean for a reason. That place sucks.
We crawled out of that ocean for a reason. There are things down there that we should not know.
It's the same reason most people aren't big fans of the dark, you know?
Also, 30 seconds till we start Living Witness, so everyone queue up Living Witness, because you're supposed to have your own copy of the episode, and you press play at the same time. And we watch the episode together, and then we line up with the timestamp.
Space is
20
just
seconds.
reverse deep, dark water.
Yeah.
It's fine, don't worry about it. What you should worry about is pressing play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Make everything all blurry. Get ready for the iconic line. Yes,
This is
Janeway.
a
That's the
much
Janeway I
better
know of.
Janeway.
Much.
What do you mean?
Yes.
This is the same Janeway.
No, this is the Janeway, but being honest with herself.
It is the
Faith.
Starfleet way, yes. I mean,
You know
this
what
is
does it?
basically
It's the
how I
leather
think of her.
gloves. That signals evil.
This is basically how I think of Janeway, Cisco, and Kirk.
If they were being honest with their reporting.
Yeah, they just go in with a gun. They use gun on so many aliens. Oh, you angered Janeway. She doesn't like it. So obviously, okay. So we know what's happening here. We've seen the episode. We all know what's going on.
Mhm.
So is the cyclic wormhole? Does it not actually exist in the real world? Did they like go and it didn't work? What happened in reality here?
My theory is that they were like trading with them, and then they said, "Hey, there's a cyclic wormhole," and they're like, "Oh shit! Like you're lost. We'll help you try to stabilize it." And then they tried stabilizing, and it didn't work.
It never works.
It. Oh man, don't get your hopes up too soon.
Oh no, sorry. It worked one time, but the Ferengi went through. Oh, the warship Voyager.
So I may be misremembering, but in this recreation, Kim is actually a lieutenant.
Okay.
God. Oh, you can't really see it because this is in 240p, but yeah, Chakotay's tattoo is like 3 times the size now.
And it's Maori.
We really need a
That's a nice
remaster. I
inaccuracy
can't
if it's
see
Maori.
anything. Amazing accuracy because the show was inaccurate in the first place.
Wildly.
It's like they missed the continent entirely and just went to a different one.
It's the same planet. It's fine. Other aliens see Earth the same way we see alien planets, where it's one thing. It's one single
One
unit.
monoculture?
Monoculture. Yeah.
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 Like, what if the Earth's reputation in the Alpha Quadrant is that they're just all like they just really get around?
Oh, evil Janeway cut her hair shorter. What's up with that? Oh
Efficiency.
god. They just glued bits onto it.
I know, I love it.
Janeway's basically a Cardassian here.
Nah, it's a science ship. That's why we carry Tetrion torpedoes and have 4 different phaser banks. It's
Oh,
fine.
Where's the photonic cannon?
And why our scientists go to an academy and not a institute where we learn basic firearms training.
Well, I just want to take tweezers and like pull out those little things sticking out of their nose holes.
Like a Dr. Pimple Popper video.
It looks like they should come out. Are they like retractable antennas? What are those?
Don't be so xenophobic.
It's not xenophobic if I'm right.
I mean, you could also pull one of their eyeballs out, and it does technically come out if you pull on it hard enough.
But the eyeball has like an actual smooth covering on it. That thing's just like a tube sticking out.
So,
It's got
You're
a
Based on
place
just
you
jealous
could
because they
grip
have
it.
more sensors than you do.
so based on the shape, I think it's either a chemoreceptor or it's for electrical perception. Kind of
Right.
like a crocodile's chin. Well, if it was for light, it would be more receptive towards light, like an eyeball, or perhaps maybe even a sunspot, like on a lizard's forehead. but based
No,
on the
when
shape and contours, it looks like it might be actually inhaling for various chemicals.
I don't know, when dermatology fails, there's only one alternative. Tweezers.
Optometry.
Popping must be employed without apology.
Disgusting.
You're disgusting.
No, you.
Oh man, I keep on messing up Jerry Taylor and Jerry, the other Jerry,
Ryan.
Ryan,
Jerry.
gerrymandering.
Jerry Taylor, she's a writer, right?
Yeah, she was one of the writers for Voyager. I think her last credit is Nothing Human.
Why do I feel like that episode's bad? I don't remember what happens in it. I just had a negative reaction to the name.
It's the episode where like the doctor gets like a new doctor friend who's also holographic, and it turns out he's just Cardassian Mengele.
Oh no, that episode's great. Maybe I had a negative reaction to the Mengele a bit. I don't know.
Maybe because you remember the episode Suddenly Human, which also Jerry Taylor wrote, which was about the kid being abducted by
Oh, Jono.
Talarians.
Yes, that's the one. Yes. And he just screams.
And they send the kid back to the culture that abducted him as a child and is
Yeah,
physically
it's
abusing
fine.
him.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's just a different culture.
Is it? We don't really see anything, dude.
I think
They
he's
just
going to
say
show the Neelix
fire.
cooking.
Oh god.
That man should not be in yellow.
Are Tuvok's ears a little pointier? I
Yeah,
think they're longer. Oh
they're longer and
god.
pointier. And he smiles. I adore this episode so much.
It's so good.
Sure, there are other times where he smiles.
Yeah, that
When
episode where he's like
brain damaged,
possessed, brain damaged. I was thinking the one where he wants to release the force field.
that's when he loses all control.
Yeah.
And then in Riddles, he literally gets mind wiped.
Turns into Neelix. No, this is the worst universe. Nope, take it away.
No, get rid of it.
Kill him. Use gun on the Kazon.
You know you're a god's mistake when the Borg don't even want you.
They even wanted the Talaxians. The Talaxians were better. Oh, is Kim in this scene? Was that Kim?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, where is Pips? Does he not have Pips?
There's no pips in this.
I guess they weren't in the recording.
Hey guys.
Hey,
Hi.
Hey Jarix.
No, don't say native people. You're not allowed to use that phrase, Chakotay.
And his tattoo's so much crazier.
Oh, they changed his pronunciation. Chakotay.
they did.
That's what they did in season 1. People called him Chakotay. They brought it
Balana
back.
called him that. Yeah.
Yeah, for a while. I think Balana held on to it longer than everyone else.
You know, in the episode where she gets married to Paris, Chakotay is the father of the bride, or stands in his place.
Well,
So-
that has sort of gross implications given Balana's
I'm-
crush on him in season 1 and 2.
I don't think.
God, Electric Complex.
I
I
think
like how
it's-
they got the noise wrong for the subdermal thing.
This feels terrible for interrogation. You can't liquefy a guy's brain when you need his brain.
Yeah, you start with the fingernails.
Oh, it's dissolving his optic nerves, not his brain.
Oh,
It
okay,
says
that's
his-
okay.
cerebral cortex begins to liquefy. That's like the most important part of your brain, the
Yeah,
part that makes you
Yeah,
smart.
I'm using that.
Yeah, we all use that on a daily basis.
I feel like I don't some days, but
Oh, they should have switched to miles for this instead of 1.6 kilometers. It is 1 mile beneath the surface. Just everything is alternate.
Mhm.
So, this is as close to the mirror universe as we get. Back in the day, Michael Jackson was the only person who wore like one black glove.
His
Yes.
voice was wrong.
No, they put her in the corset again.
Say what you will. I wanted body horror Borg.
She just sicks the Borg on people.
The real body
This
horror
version
was
of
Rick Berman's costuming requirements.
I mean, if you think about it in a cosmic sort of sense, um, your clothes are so constrictive that it's literally cutting off your carotid artery.
Oh, very efficient. And a free drone, nice.
this version of the Federation just is one that doesn't use diplomacy.
No, they tried and it
I
failed.
like it.
Hey,
So there was only one alternative.
Argos. I don't want
I
you to
mean,
think I didn't say hi.
this is a terrible decision by Mirror Janeway here. Don't don't have the Borg on your ship. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Now, I
You
think if they established like she had like a weird beeping forehead thing where like she became their new queen.
I mean,
know,
but this is like what other races or aliens that encounter Voyager think. They're like, oh my god, they've got Borg on board. This is what it must be like.
Yeah.
yeah.
Why do they think
Um,
Harry Kim uses so much hair gel?
Something I really love about this episode, though, is that like I've always been a student of history,
Mhm.
so it's like you have to be mindful that like okay, the history that we're getting might be wrong in any number of ways.
It's always
Intentionally or
filtered through
otherwise.
someone's point of view, which is what makes it fallible.
Yeah, and that's kind of it's kind of like amazing how like contemporary history will like re-envision or revision and it's often criticized for being revisionist history, but actually history's always been a bit revisionist. Like you look at it through the prism of your own time. So Janeway's hair here is like dark red, like not the blonde she goes with.
Just call Janeway blonde.
Janeway's usually
No,
blonde, right?
no, she's been a redhead pretty much.
No, she's blonde.
Who's a redhead? What are you talking about?
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay.
Are you colorblind?
I don't I don't know. I mean, she's always been a blonde in my eyes.
That
But
lady's
there's a
blonde.
there's strawberry blonde, which is like this pinkish blonde.
Nah, Janeway's Irish, and that automatically means that she has red hair by default.
Yeah.
Which is funny
It's
because I have red hair, but I don't have a drop of Irish blood in me.
Kate Mulgrew goes to like Nebraska for like a Janeway festival every year, I think.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
That seems a bit
It doesn't
slow
look.
for type 3s.
Well, it's more lingering. It adds to the suffering.
Mm.
Also, every culture has this ability to like view itself as the martyr and peaceful kind.
Wow,
Like,
what do you know?
Yeah,
It looks like
it's
they
no
didn't
coincidence
prevail.
that it's no coincidence that the dude that's the caretaker of this museum is the same species as the guy that's like, I'm a perfect martyr.
yeah. And like even their enemy isn't half as bad as Janeway is.
Tedran, who we're going to learn was basically just a terrorist in a bit.
It was, yeah.
And then there's people who like purposely revisionist history, like who say the Holocaust never happened or something else never happened, Armenian genocide. Like during World War One, Turkey marched like 1 million Armenians out to the desert and like stranded people and just left them there to die. And if you ask them, they'll say, "Yeah, that never happened," but like there's plenty of historical evidence that it really did.
Yeah, you can go into the desert right now and find literal just piles of human remains.
Yeah, and actually, I recently learned Syrian Christians were part of that too. But yeah, there was a plenty of genocides in World War One, World War Two, and um, it's very contentious to this day.
Did I ever tell you about the time that I had to listen to like one of my college professors tell me how great communism is, and I just said Holodomor,
Yeah,
and she lost her fucking shit because she told me that was a lie.
right. Like I had a Stalinist friend in college. She said the starvation in Ukraine was just there was a famine because they didn't have crops that year. It's like, no, you're forgetting about the part where Stalin purposely starved them.
Mm. No, but you misunderstand the point here. The issue was it wasn't my friend, it was my professor.
Yeah.
Wait, Ben, what's the same set they used for Rafo's ship? Not the museum. What's Aria's set here? Someone said
That's
this.
that's that's interesting.
Oh, is this where? Oh, this kind of actually looks like the geometry of the place where the admiral gets his face stretched.
His
Mm.
face stretched?
Admiral
Remember near
Dougherty
the
in
end
the
of the
insurrection.
movie, the admiral's like, "Wait, no, I'm not an evil bad guy," and Rafa's like, "Well, okay, you're gonna die then," and he puts him in the chair, and he uses his face stretching technique to kill the admiral.
Oh, from Insurrection.
Yeah, insurrection.
Rafa is played by award-winning actor F. Murray Abraham and narrator.
I mean, clearly it's been repainted and better lit. I can
He's
actually
saying we'll
see.
change our views accordingly, and then he struggles for the entire episode to change his views accordingly.
Yeah, it's easy to say. It's easy to say you'll change your mind about something.
It's kind of like the Federation. They act like all high and mighty and never adapt to the cultures around them.
I mean, there's a controversy about whether there were Polish concentration camps. Okay, because like a lot of Polish people did turn over their Jewish neighbors and stuff like that when the Nazis came. But the concentration camps were staffed by Nazis. So in Poland, it's illegal to say that there are Polish concentration camps because they were all German concentration camps in Poland. Um, but Israel insists that the Poles were a little bit more complicit in the liquidation of European Jewry than the Polish government will want to admit.
Unrelated, but back to this guy's period replication. I've decided to use props we already have on the set instead
What
of
is that
new
prop
ones.
beforehand? It's like some kind of like scanner, isn't it?
I think
Or
it's a
data.
quill spanner.
No, the little thing he's pointing at.
I feel like that's a scalpel to just update the
It's a
prop.
tiny control sphere for controlling very small remote control ships.
It reminds me of like those sample capsules that they put moss in TNG,
A little
and they
bit.
just
It's a
put
little smaller though.
and they put an LED in it.
So we've duplicated the Doctor, right? This isn't
This is a backup.
Yeah, this is Doctor 2.
okay. Well, that's pretty handy for historians.
And there's something really depressing about like the end of the episode if you take into account of Discovery.
Well, will you go ahead and enlighten us?
So they said, yeah, he left like a couple years ago to go find his people. So he took a shuttlecraft and left. And then if you do the math and realize, okay, a shuttlecraft going to the Alpha Quadrant, he probably never made it home because he was probably caught up in the burn.
So the fact that this Doctor 2 exists creates a lot of story issues in other episodes. Like, oh no, they're going
Mm.
to decompile the Doctor. We're going to lose his program forever.
Oh, yeah.
That happens a lot. Why can't we just make more and more copies of the Doctor?
I think the doctor would have actually objected because he couldn't consent to that.
Well, apparently his consent doesn't matter because here we go. There's a backup.
This is actually a really good Star Trek moment.
Well, if you would like to know, you could watch Star Trek Prodigy.
Or they actually gave Chakotay a character.
I am. I guess I can't really say what I'm shocked about. Well, that happened in Prodigy last week, but you know. I, I was kind of expecting that to just be the museum outside that door, and he just like puts his hand out, it ceases to exist. No, here's the
Well,
museum. Oh, there's holographic emitters in the. Why?
no, he activated his mobile emitter.
Oh, okay. Wait, they have one?
Yeah, it was like a duplicate that they made, I think.
They just.
Yeah,
Okay, sure, whatever. Maybe this is the. Because the mobile emitter came from the future, maybe this is the species that initially invented it.
that that's a good theory. Of course, the end of the episode kind of reveals this kind of plot hole right now. Because in the end it's revealed that this is also another like uh museum display.
Doctor, could you turn to your other side so I could see your mobile emitter arm? That'd be nice. No, I don't know. It's kind of a warship, dude.
No, the Federation is very clearly a military. They just don't call themselves that.
Yeah, we're Navy.
Oh, he doesn't have an emitter. It's no emitter. It just has emitters in the museum.
Also, this could just be another kind of slightly faulty historical video.
Oh, yeah, because this is fake, too.
Yes.
God, we're the layers deep.
Thank you, Tim Russ. This is a very delicious Star Trek lasagna you've made us.
Oh, it's his directorial debut.
It is.
Balana,
Lieutenant. Gross. God, yes. I have such mixed feelings. On the one hand, I mean, Neelix is here and Kim's a lieutenant. On the other hand, Hedgehog. Janeway, are you going to shoot someone? Or just a wall? Just a wall. How is this even a war? Don't you, like, massively outclass everything on the planet? Just bomb them.
Well, there is something called the Minute War, in which I think the English just bombed a city until they gave up for 7 minutes.
Isn't that also a Half-Life thing? Where the war with the aliens lasted just a few minutes?
I
Because
think
of
it was in
massive
Half-Life, it was
technological
hours.
superiority.
Like a war can occur in any front. Like the the occupation of Bajor had about 100 years technological difference, which shows you how either shitty the Cardassian military actually is, or how determined the Bajoran resistance was. But
They were
yeah,
literally religious zealots.
yeah,
That's why eventually it broke the Cardassian.
yeah. Like after like the 13th 9-year-old suicide bomber, like just so many soldiers gave up.
I don't like it when people describe themselves as enlightened. That doesn't feel right.
No, I mean we humans call themselves wise men.
Yo, Homo sapiens. Yeah.
Yep.
So the CGI model
Homo
for
sapiens
Voyager
sapiens. Wise
here
man.
is has just a lot more guns and cannons on it, but it's the same Voyager.
And in the comic series, in the Mirror Universe, it is this model that is used for the ISS Voyager.
Mm.
When was this backup made? Because he knows everything that happened in the episode.
True. Good observation.
Is this like a cloud
Yeah.
backup thing? It's just constantly saving to the module?
You know, some things are lost to history, Ryan.
Mm-hmm. Probably know this could have been just like a week before Endgame.
It says that his backup was found on the planet, so it must have been like right after this.
So if I'm creating a historical revisionist story, wouldn't I want to make the Kyrians, sorry, whatever this forehead-looking species is, like the objective aggressor to make it more politically salient?
But this recreation was created by the people who are now being oppressed because
Yeah, but they didn't demonize their enemy; they demonized Voyager, is what JJ is trying to say.
Mhm.
Um, but I think this is more fun for the actors.
Oh yeah.
Kate Mulgrew loves being evil. You can see it on her face.
And if you play Dragon Age, you can hear it.
You know, I always think
Okay.
about like. Go ahead.
That's crazy, Doctor. Why would the Kyrians present themselves as noble heroes if it wasn't true? What are you talking about? That seems legit to me.
It's really hard to figure out what's revisionist history and what's like accurate history.
God, what if just like
I would say
I'm
archaeology.
I mean, you can only read into that so much.
I'm basically imagining like what if we found proof that Christopher Columbus was actually a pretty cool guy? He was totally nice to everybody all the time. It's like it's pretty deeply ingrained that Christopher Columbus is a genocidal maniac. Could we really change that perception?
I mean, it's only recently that we've reframed him as that. Like, I think like in the 80s, the best-selling biography of Christopher Columbus called him a great navigator. And he truly was the greatest navigator of all time.
No, he wasn't, dude. He ended up in the wrong place.
Yeah, but he was
He hit the wrong continent.
you had to go there and come back, and that's really not as easy as
I
it
don't
sounds.
think hitting the wrong continent at a time when no one knew it was there is exactly something you should call them out for.
Yeah.
Literally, the only reason why he made it to America was because a mutiny was staved off by a sighting of St. Elmo's fire.
And the only
A
reason
what
he hit
fire?
America in the first place is because everyone else was like, dude, the planet is this size. We know how big it is. And Chris was like, no, it's actually like half the size. I'm going to sail all the way around.
St. Elmo's fire is just really spicy nautical static electricity.
Huh?
It's like a fireball that you see from natural phenomena.
Oh.
Basically, imagine if like static electricity ran up and down your mass, so it shot up and then to the sides of the poles where a sail was hung. So it kind of made like a cross shape.
Ah, right. So it was taken as a symbol.
Yeah.
A blessing
It's a
from
good
the
omen.
Lord.
I mean, I guess it worked, right? They found a new world.
Not for the Native Americans, it didn't work out great.
No. Mm-mm.
You know, while I'm doing this revisionist history thing, the Aztecs They were really evil, and the neighboring tribes allied with Cortez and the Spaniards to overthrow the Aztecs.
Yeah, the Spanish came and they were like, "Whoa, these people are doing like mega child sacrifices. We should do something about that."
They made a deal with the devil. With Cortez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so like, if there's good, there's bad. There's ugly. It's just part of history.
I don't know, was Cortez ugly? Was he handsome? What did Cortez look like?
He probably had smallpox at one point.
He had blonde hair and blue eyes.
I looked up Cortez on Google Images, and I just got pictures of shoes. And one of AOC. A bunch of AOC, actually. What?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why? But
You're looking for Hernan Cortez or Hernando.
Face looks kind of saggy.
okay, I'm looking at paintings of him. Meh. He's fine, I guess.
Do you think he? Okay, so are you looking at the one where it looks like he has like the Hogwarts houses behind him on an emblem?
No, but this does look like a painting that would be hanging in Hogwarts.
Because like it looks like he has a little bit of a pouty lip, and if I recall correctly, that was a sign
I see that
of
one
the
now.
Habsburg jaw.
He looks like Ben Kenobi.
Dude, Ben Kenobi looked way better than this guy.
Ben Kenobi always looks better than this guy.
Especially, are we talking about,
Hello there.
are we talking about new Ben Kenobi or old Ben Kenobi?
Yes.
Mm, The one who says hello there.
It doesn't help.
The new one. Alec Guinness.
Oh, that's
No,
interesting.
sorry, that's the
They-
old one.
Okay, so they call themselves neighboring species. They're not from the same planet.
No.
So the Kyrians conquered them during the war? So now they share a planet?
So I think what happened is that
Yeah.
they took the distraction of Voyager and then failed an invasion. And then those who were still on planet got like occupied or reverse occupied. What do you call it?
Decolonized?
No, no, no. Like if you okay, so imagine if like Canadians invaded the US and,
Mhm.
and
Good
as
luck,
opposed to just
Canada.
I know. And instead of like just outright executing them or killing them, you allow them to live in certain areas.
Oh, those are
Mhm.
reservations.
Yeah, you just put these guys on the res.
Mhm. Yeah, they're clearly sharing the planet now. But
Oh, here's
like,
another detail from the fake recreation that gave away it was fake. Tom Paris said yes, sir, not yes, ma'am. It was all wrong.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because Janeway didn't want to be called sir.
It's not
Oh,
crunch
she didn't
time
want to be
yet,
called
Paris.
ma'am,
Ma'am,
and he
sir.
just
She didn't
kept
want
doing
it
it.
either. She preferred captain, and then Tuvok is the only person to call her captain.
Well,
Yeah, but no one, really, no one just said, I want to have the title ma'am, not sir. That wasn't anything that Janeway said in any time, right?
In the first episode,
told,
she said she doesn't want to be called sir, and she only wanted to be called ma'am in a crunch, whatever that means.
Yeah.
She said she
Well,
preferred to
Ma'am
be called
crunch.
captain.
well, I mean, captain is two syllables, ma'am is barely one.
and sir is one.
Oh, they're approaching section 31.
Oh no.
I call my bosses sir, even though they're women at my job.
Can't we just beam them off the ship?
I mean, they beam themselves on.
Of course, they take Seven of Nine hostage because tits, I think.
No. But they could surely their scanners can tell the difference. Just beam off the Kyrians. It's not a big deal.
I mean, it's not like they're transplanted humans. We're like, okay, we can't distinguish them from the crew.
Yeah, they have the weird forehead pimples. Savage.
Like her hair is so much more blonded out. That's why I couldn't tell she's a redhead.
No, it was just darker. Like literally, the setting was like just lit
No,
darker.
she has blonde highlights going on right now. Like they blonde her out so
Does
much more than
she?
they red her out. She always has blonde hair.
Eddie Tone
I think we're
Simmons.
seeing entirely different streams here. That doesn't look blonde at all to me.
Who's blonde?
Janeway?
Kate Mulgrew.
Apparently,
Oh, that's not blonde. No.
you don't happen to have a job where like color coding and chemical analysis are really important, do you?
No.
No.
No, I'm not an illustrator or a hairstylist. Although I'm pretty fabulous either way.
Yeah, I mean, neither. I'm an IT consultant. I see RGB.
Is it? You need to. It's 700 years later. How good is the hard drive storage on that thing? They
Maybe
had
it
to
has a
decase
black
Simulation
box.
eventually.
technology is infinitely durable.
I mean, CDs have held up pretty well.
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure why they care this much if it was 700 years ago.
Well, the Civil War is nearly 200 years old, so
You mean the war for Southern independence?
yeah,
Or
sure.
Northern
Yeah, why
aggression.
do they care? Why do the. Who cares about the
Because
Confederacy? It's dead and gone.
the South shall rise again.
No, it won't.
No, it won't.
My Virginia.
So I was watching the Ken Burns documentary, and they're like,
Mm.
yes, and this is the 50th year celebration of the Civil War reunion. I'm like, oh, cool, like the Union soldiers, and they're like, and then here come the Confederate soldiers, and they're like, oh, they're just being chads and like broing it out. Okay.
It was a very traumatic war, the most traumatic in U.S. history,
Hmm.
and the most bloody. 100,000 people dead in a single day at Antietam, or injured. Sorry.
Did this actress appear as something else?
Yeah, I'm. Or I think she ring a bell
Little,
in
Little
my
House
head.
on the Prairie.
What?
I was kidding.
I don't suppose anyone caught the character's name.
Yeah. Who's she again? Don't know.
Doesn't matter, they're a Vascan or whatever.
Ian.
It matters to IMDb.
No, you got to play into the existing social strife that's in this episode.
Okay.
She was just a token Kyrian.
Yeah, she's listed as unnamed Kyrian.
Marie
Wait, the
Chambers.
That question was glorious. How was she? Taurus. Angry
Okay,
most of
her
the
name
time.
is okay. She's Mary Chambers,
Marie.
and she only
Murray
appeared in,
Chambers.
but she did make appearances in Madoc, Babylon 5, X Files, and Angel.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Matlock.
Damn.
Matlock.
Screw them. They didn't even treat you as a person. The Kyrians consider holograms sentient.
Oh, that's a mistake. That's a big mistake.
So I learned that Homer, when he wrote his epics, he basically created the Greek religion Like they had their own ideas of Zeus and everything before that, but he's the one who like wrote a compelling narrative. Um, and then Argonautica was like a Roman reinterpretation of Greek myths. So it's so funny. We think like these things already like exist, like in a monoculture kind of way, but there was like a lot of development to like what they believed.
I mean, if you go back to Linear B, I think. You wanna know who the Big Daddy Big God was?
Who?
Hades.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it wasn't Hades. Well, I mean, it might have been. There was a period of time where Poseidon and Hades were technically the same character.
Yeah, they're both Zeus's brothers. But yeah.
No,
And
they were
there
this.
goes civilization again.
So is this the Kyrians destroying the? Oh, sorry, the Vaskins destroying the Kyrian museum?
Yeah, the fake history museum.
Yeah, take that, glass.
Take that statue of Lenin.
Okay, but destroying communist architecture is kind of based.
No, but that's what I'm
That's
saying.
really
Like
based, yeah.
for them, like it's the same thing. It's like you're destroying the false oppressive history. So, but I just learned that in Washington State, there's a statue of Lenin. It was in Czechoslovakia, and like they tore it down. So and they sent it to the junkyard. So this American's visiting in like 89, 1990, and he just brings it back to his town in Washington State.
And didn't he like kick the bucket like a week before it even came to his house?
Yeah, he died before like it was installed, and it's still there. It's kind of cool.
Only two, considering the explosions I'm hearing outside. That's pretty good.
Oh, that artillery is just, well, shit.
Oh, they ran out of budget for the sound effects.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, there they are. Are we sure there's only two people dead? It sounds like a lot of dead.
Well, I mean, this is also 700 years technology advancement, so maybe they're keeping them alive. Like, if you get a headshot right now, you'll be dead within seconds, but if you can immediately just throw them in stasis and then conduct reconstructive surgery, you might be able to even repair them fully.
Yeah, or they use a special kind of ammunition, like beanbags.
Hmm. Like rubber
They're
bullets?
stun bombs.
Yes, yeah, right. They
Yeah,
stun
these,
them.
yeah, this is like this is like a race riot. Yeah, they're not going to use live ammunition in the middle of a town.
I mean, it is a race.
Yes.
They literally used the words race riot a minute
I
ago.
know. I know. So I'm like, yeah, if this is like a typical riot, they're going to be using chemical weapons and such as tear gas and rubber bullets.
Seriously, 700 years. Like, I get why they care about continuing to be oppressed. That seems pretty important. But the war itself was 700 years ago, man. Come on. How long do these people live?
I mean,
I mean-
700 years in what time system? In ours?
Yeah, Earth years.
Okay.
What a plot twist.
You know, it would actually would have been really funny if it was a Vaskin doing the presentation as opposed to a Kyrian.
Good. We have a museum for revisionist history now.
Oh.
I just can't see a war 700 years ago creating actual societal change in the present.
It's more like the Israelis and the Palestinians, right? Like each side will say the other started it, And after like 50 years of violence, you can't say anyone started it because everybody's knee deep in retaliation.
Mhm.
Well, what's really interesting? She said that he left with a small craft heading for the Alpha Quadrant. When
Yeah.
are we
That's not
getting
after the
that
burn.
movie where he finally arrives at the Federation?
Could
Yeah,
they
they
not like
probably-
use like Discovery to reintroduce him? Because it's like whatever, like 3,000 year 3,000 or
Like
something.
even long before Discovery, Starfleet had expanded most of the galaxy.
Oh, don't
Yeah,
get me
but
starting,
then the
starting on
burn. What
Discovery
year
Discovery
here.
is
what year was the burn? I don't remember.
It was like, well, okay. There are
It was like
3 time periods in here. It was like 200 years after the initial recreation, or 200 years after the main bulk of the episode.
so the burn
Was it?
occurred in 3069. Nice.
Okay, so that's 3069. So then, most of Star Trek takes place in the 24th century. That's 700 years later. So the 31st century. So actually about the same time.
Wow.
The 3000s.
So the Doctor sets out into space. The burn happens and his craft blows up and is
The
destroyed.
Doctor
never seen
caused
again.
the burn.
Gee.
No,
And-
no,
and-
it's even more stupid.
The reason
than
for
that.
the burn was so much worse than that.
Exactly.
was.
he was control all the time.
They clearly look. I don't want to bash
the
Discovery
reason-
too much. Overall, I enjoy the show, but they clearly started writing, filming the first half of the season before they finished writing it.
And they could have just left it unanswered at the end.
Also,
but
1 minute to
Yeah.
Demon. Everyone, queue up Demon.
that would have been so much better.
Yeah.
Instead, it was a sad little boy.
I mean, if anything, they probably should have just said, hey, no, it was just we ran out of dilithium. like any-
Or it could have been Omega.
Yeah.
Yeah, why they had that already set up? Why wasn't it Omega molecule that caused it? Like,
Yeah.
bruh.
Well, they could still go
It's
to war.
almost like the people that wrote Discovery just didn't know anything about Star Trek.
No, not at all. It's why all the best episodes were written by like former alum. Like the episode where like Jonathan Frakes makes you cry over the fact that a probe is screaming in pain.
You know what
That was
made me
messed
cry was
up.
when he burnt the pizza.
Just the tomato. Just the tomato. It's okay. 1. Press play on Demon in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play.
So the other episode had duplicate doctor.
Wait, why are the lights going out?
Don't worry
this
about it.
episode this episode has duplicate Harry and Paris. And it's part of Star Trek canon that they're on a planet somewhere making love to each other forever.
What?
Let me mute myself.
I've also noticed that they're shying away less from showing B'Elanna's like lower half.
Well, yeah, if you saw the beginning, you actually saw like a little baby bump.
Yeah.
Is she still pregnant?
Yeah, the first episode where she was pregnant, they like only showed her from the shoulders up, but they kind of stopped caring. It's like, yeah, whatever.
Damar is the father.
He is. It's true.
Yeah, and Tasha Yar is, her cousin-in-law.
So Paris here suggests that the ship be powered by an electric bicycle.
Yep.
But how come hand cranking technology for simple electronics isn't being utilized?
Oh, just an intersection. Did Tuvok just punch Neelix?
No, he
I hope
ran
so.
into him.
The hedgehog.
I would pay money to see that.
It's one book, dude. He's
This is
gonna
where
be
they
living
get to
in...
bunk together.
No, he's in sick bay. Neelix. They don't bunk together.
So I know that sounds kind of weird, but how come he's complaining about like him getting a book while other people are getting pads?
Well, one pad can hold one page of what book?
Like in season 6 when Tuvok's in a coma, Neelix reads him the Talaxian version of Homer. Sorry, the Vulcan version of Homer, like Proto Vulcan epic. So we have books on Voyager. Neelix likes books.
Wait, Balana
So
wasn't in the last episode because of maternity leave? Don't they film these episodes, every week or every 2 weeks? Did she?
It could be that these episodes are being aired unsequentially.
they
Star
probably
Trek-
film. They could film people's scenes like out of order for different episodes, just when they have the actor.
Star Trek films for 16-hour days. The time from production to post production is 2 weeks for one episode.
2 weeks. That's awfully long.
Yeah, there's editing, and then meanwhile they're filming new episodes while they're doing post production at the same time.
Okay. Yeah.
I wonder how much Balana's in this episode. If she came back for like 2 minutes of filming and then went back to maternity leave. Because that's clearly not enough time if she just came back already.
I mean, she's not a Klingon
Make them
IRL.
Class. Class
So
Y as in why are we going there?
That's it.
I know this sounds kind of jacked up, but consider the Klingons having, duplicates of every organ, being highly aggressive and apparently able to reproduce at speeds that are ungodly. How come no one suggested in or out of universe a genophage for them?
Yes, but you said it. They have a backup for every organ.
They're redundant.
Do female Klingons have a second womb?
They have redundancies and a lot of bones protecting their internal.
Why don't Klingons have 4 eyes?
Yeah.
'Cause they already-
Maybe
'cause-
they just like a
They
vending
already have
machine,
two.
so if the first eye gets hit, it just like rolls in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what do you
and
think-
maybe the evolution just said
No.
it's no use.
Martok.
2 eyes are perfect.
I mean, that just shows you how much Martok's been in battle. Is that he lost his redundant eye after the first one got poked out.
they're like baby teeth, but baby eyes.
Shark
Well,
teeth.
Well, I mean, wasn't it in like DS9 where they said, "Yeah, I remember earning my first bar of Latinum when I had my first set of ears."
Yes. Ferengi
Yeah,
shed their
but
ears.
that's Ferengi.
It's
I
horrifying.
mean, they are pretty big, so you'd imagine they'd have to like scale up as you get older.
Well, here's my crazy theory. What if it's like tree rings? Because if you look at like Zack and his ears, like it looks like he has like multiple earlobes.
He just has the biggest lobes, and that proves he knows business the bestest.
We see in Picard that the Ferengi have a lot of ear bones that like support the structure of it.
Yeah.
Like, do they just shed the outer layer of skin like they molt?
Well, there are some
Like deer with
mammals that
antlers.
shed.
Maybe it's like a
Just drop
shell,
off
like
the
you know
whole
the
ear
way
and it
like
grows a new
Oh
one.
god, it's just covered in velvet for the first week, and then after it just comes off.
you know the way like marine life grows the shell through like calcification. Maybe that's how they make the extra ear bones they need.
Hey, Robo.
Yo.
Oh, I hate thermionic discharges. Really a
Yeah.
pain to clean up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can ruin the whole weekend.
47.
So they don't have deuterium.
How? Deuterium's everywhere.
Yeah.
Isn't that what canonically what the Boothard collectors are for?
Yeah.
That's for hydrogen.
Deuterium is hydrogen.
Yeah, but it's H3, right?
Yep.
So hydrogen gas is just H2.
It's just more hydrogen gas.
No. Deuterium is hydrogen with extra neutron.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, H2
Yeah,
plus one
regular
neutron.
hydrogen.
Sorry. Okay, yeah. It's not
That'd be
H3,
hydrogen.
sorry.
No,
Okay. It's an
H2 is a molecule, and we're just
It
talking
gives
about deuterium.
it gives you more
isotope,
hydrogen
which
per
is
hydrogen.
hydrogen atom with a neutron.
Gives you less hydrogen per hydrogen.
It's still hydrogen.
Less
it's just
hydrogen
heavy.
per liter, but more hydrogen per hydrogen molecule.
So it's like the sport water or the smart water of space. Got it.
So like when you fill it up at the space station, you put in the deuterium and you go a bit faster.
You can't use regular deuterium or regular hydrogen for the antimatter because deuterium has electrolytes.
It's
You know
got
what?
what warp cores crave.
So, you ever see that meme about like a gram of like uranium-239 will feed you for the rest of your life due to how many calories it has?
Also because it will kill you real fast.
Yeah.
I don't think that statement is true because I'm pretty sure Venus is less hospitable to human life than this planet.
So they say like it's 100 kelvins. That is like barely uh sorry, they say like 200 kelvins. That is barely like 140 degrees.
No, it was 500
Isn't it all
kelvins, which is
negative?
No,
about
no, no, no.
230
That's
centigrade.
that's 70. Right. Thank you.
230 C. So not great.
Hirogen could go there, like just hold their breath for a while. Based on what I've heard about Hirogens.
What, holding their breath? That means Harry Kim wouldn't talk. Sounds good.
Yeah. I see this as a win.
Oh,
Yeah,
even
they-
Tom calling him out.
When did you grow a spine or pair of balls?
Did the doctor
You,
replicate
who you
one for
talking
you?
to?
That's the joke.
What if he's already been replaced?
Yeah. But it wasn't even that big of a deal. It was just a regular conference meeting.
Best part of this episode is the follow-up episode to this,
Yeah, it
Oh.
is.
where basically
The horrifying one?
we discover
Yeah.
that the duplicate crew is better at everything than the original crew, and they actually found a way
Except
home.
being alive. They're terrible at
Yeah.
that.
But the new warp core they designed actually destroys them. So, but if they could give that information to Voyager in time, they would. Real
If they
Voyager
just
could
had
use
30 more seconds.
Yeah.
it. Get that
But also-
probe out.
Also, like their
They're
like
trying to
flight
put a
plan,
probe with all the plans.
but
Sorry.
their flight plan include like going to the galactic core, and I'm like, do they have to fight God?
Ah, we torpedoed God. He's
Already
taken
killed
care
it.
of. Don't worry about it.
What needs God a ship?
What does God need with a starship?
What does God need with
Yeah.
a freaking photon torpedo? He needs to die.
So you want to know something really funny? I was watching Strange New Worlds, watching the Serene Squall, and also like so when you have Captain Angel like offering to trade Spock for a prisoner, I was like, what does a pirate need with Spock? And then he revealed that the prisoner was Cybok.
I'm just thinking about torpedoing God into oblivion. Was
mean-
God a communist?
No, but they already like killed a god previously. Do you remember Apollo?
Yeah.
Who mourns for Adonis?
Turns out the Greek gods are just aliens. Don't worry about it.
Communist aliens.
As long as you worship us, we exist.
Oh, does that technically make the Greek gods psychic parasites?
You mean like the Goa'uld?
No, the Goa'uld are
Like the Ori.
yeah. They require your devotion and prayers in order to sustain themselves.
Yeah.
Do the prophets have such limitations, or are they just kind of not involved?
Who knows? Who knows what's up with the prophets?
It's not linear, JJ.
Who would win, Ori or prophets?
Prophets? No, wait. Orion can do more.
Who's Ori?
Wait, hold on. Do the prophets
Ori
have
are
an...
willing to do more.
Wait,
The
hold on.
prophets are like, we don't care.
Wait, hold on. Do the prophets have an emissary, or is it just Ori versus prophets?
Ooh,
They
this is the same
have the
set where
guy
they
that
find the
thought he was
sentient
an
torpedo
emissary.
again, by the way.
Really?
Oh yeah. The AI. that the
Or
doctor
they already
can't
did.
tell.
I don't remember if we saw it.
No, it's coming up. It's the Bride of Chaotic episode, I think,
This is
No, it's not.
or
isn't
it's
this
after
just
that.
They reuse the set a lot. They like
Mhm.
it.
it's called Planet Hell for a reason.
The thing I don't get is like he can't tell that it's a warhead lodged inside a rock. Like he just sees it as a person. Our doctor.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's just code. He would be
I mean,
empathetic
I
towards it.
think he can tell the difference between a warhead and a biological organism.
Okay. Well, I'm saying a person is like an AI person, right? Because like at some point our notion of person is gonna have to expand to include robots.
So do you remember that weird video game Detroit Become Human?
Yep.
I remember
I've
the
heard of it.
title, but
And
DSX?
a huge selling point was how a robot could develop actual feelings towards a little girl, even though she's a robot. And
Yeah.
What?
and the
nope.
twist is that the little girl is also a robot. And I'm like, so you just hamstrung an entire message that you spent like 3 hours trying to deliver? Because I can understand a robot being sympathetic towards another robot.
Why? You think robots are all like xenophobes and
I mean, here's the thing. Let's face it. The human flesh is weak. Steel is strong. Would you not think of yourself as superior, if not better, than the meat bags who made you?
no? That's a very human perspective.
I mean, how did that AI develop, right? So like Moriarty certainly thinks he's superior to us, which he is.
Well, I mean, that's because
You're
Moriarty
not technically superior. You just have different needs for your maintenance routine.
Just a question. Did Harry already got replaced?
I think this is replacement Harry.
This is he's getting
This is
This
is
is original Harry and Tom.
no. Original Harry's long dead. He went out of the Voyager, like, you know, when there's a hole ripped in the side of it ages ago.
Yeah, he got killed in
Yeah.
deadlock, I think.
okay.
Yep.
But when they both wake up, that's when they're replaced. But right now, this is our crew.
So we can say that this is Sperry Kim.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
He's the spare.
And
Pretty
Tom
sure we've got another Harry
Paris.
Kim in the back.
Also, deuterium's like shape-shifting intelligence.
Isn't this
And
actually
another thing is, would you care if Harry Kim got replaced by another actor?
no?
I would care. We can't replace the actor because then we wouldn't. Being able to say Harry Kim doesn't deserve a promotion is one of the best parts of Voyager.
Garrett.
We need somebody to dunk
Garrett would
on.
care.
You know, if this was just Star Trek Adventures, Garrett Wong's character has just been rolling zeros on reputation rolls.
I like
So,
how it counted
all the
down,
time.
like with the tone that it normally uses as a warning.
I think they just wanted to escape Voyager and just be on
Yeah.
a planet alone by themselves, where nobody else could bother them.
You would
This
think
is
that Neelix would get first dibs in the mess hall, considering that's where he works.
Yeah.
this is the thing that's bothering me about Voyager. It's even worse than Enterprise D, but there's only like 4 beds. And like, what happens if more than 4 people are sick? And we find out in a later
Off
episode.
screen, there's a big room with more beds that we don't
Okay, yeah, but on screen, when everybody falls sick, there's people on the floor, and that's how we deal with them.
see. Well,
Floor's
there's
clean. What's wrong with the floor?
all the other beds are also full.
Okay.
You're on a spaceship. It has no like dirt or anything. It's just like completely clean environment.
Yeah, I
Oh, there is dirt. It's just all dander.
human
but
and non-human skin flakes.
Computer. I mean, you know, at this point, the computer is just going to be like beaming that and recycling it or whatever. Like, don't need to worry about that.
They couldn't
Remember
check
the
everybody
flaky
up
people
in
from
a
the
cargo
Delta
bay.
Quadrant or Gamma Quadrant? Remember the flaky people?
Ew.
Imagine the inside of their
Gross.
ships.
Oh my
It's just like
god.
you're waiting around through the dander.
The
These-
screens.
They couldn't have put a heater
Even
in
their
a,
name is gross.
cargo bay. Like that would have solved a lot of this housing. Built a bunk beds.
I know that sounds weird, but are you familiar
Put all the
with
people in the transporter buffer.
are you familiar with hotbedding?
Yes. On submarines, they have one bunk for 3 sailors, and every 8 hours, someone is getting in the bunk and someone is getting out of the bunk.
I feel like if Voyager was being realistic with its management of resources, hotbedding would have been immediately enacted. And just
Oh,
kill life support for like a
unrelated.
quarter of the ship.
Unrelated, but if you looked at that railing in the background, when Chakotay walked by it, he knocked it, and it
Wobbled.
was
Yeah, it
wobbling
wobbles.
a lot. Chakotay, you
I
almost
like to
broke the
point-
set.
I like to point something out that almost every sci-fi show and movie gets wrong. In space,
No sound.
if you don't have life support, you don't freeze, you roast alive because it's the ambient heat, the heat generated by all the people has nowhere to go. Life support actually radiates
yeah.
that heat out into space and not keep you warm. So whenever they show like, oh, life support's failing and everybody's shivering and has blankets, total bullshit.
Yeah.
Everybody was sitting around in their underwear, sweating bullets.
Even the Expanse gets that wrong, I think. Not so much with ships, but as applied to people.
Yeah. You're right. They do get that wrong.
Wait, how would people roast alive?
So it's kind of like the MOA where body heat and ambient temperature is
Their-
increasing the
Their
temperature.
own body heat and the heat generated by all the equipment has nowhere to go.
But you know the only way you can get rid of heat in space is through radiation.
Yeah.
It's
That's what the life support
because there's
does.
nothing to conduct the waste heat out of the ship. You would roast
Yeah, there's
instead
no
of
air.
freeze.
So like the external shielding would probably be anti-radioactive, so to speak, just so you don't end up like giving all your crew cancer.
But
There
what is
is
the
a
solution?
theme.
Like, what would be the solution for a ship like this? Would it have to like periodically eject like red hot matter, like out of the ship to get rid of the heat?
Well, the way that we do it, and when they say radiation, they don't mean like radioactive radiation. They mean radiation energy, heat energy.
No, like
So
like I'm thinking the radiation shielding that we think of in common terms might actually be like an insulator for their radiating body heat.
so
Yeah, like
the
I'm
way that
radiating heat right now, you know.
Yeah.
So
on spacecraft now, what we do, we have actual radiators. Which, when you look at the International Space Station, you see all those panels. Most of them aren't solar panels. Most of them are radiators, and they have liquid metal circulating. And they take the heat, transfer it to the liquid metal, and then pump it through the radiators, and it radiates the heat because the liquid metal has more heat capacity than like water coolant. So
there's a really good line here
Wait,
because
isn't it that it has less?
it distributes it better, like the radiative.
Yeah, it's a
capacity.
better conductor, whereas water is actually a worse conductor, and that's why it's got a better heat capacity.
Yeah.
it has more heat capacity because it's denser. Argos.
And it flows a certain way. But Balana and Seven don't get along. But here she just complimented Seven because actually it's funny, like even holodeck Balana hates Seven. Like I think at one point Seven asked holodeck Balana, a holographic Balana, describe the nature of your sexual relationship with Lieutenant Paris. And she's ready to punch her. So but she says here no one has a cooler head than Seven. That's cool. Respect among
Well, I mean, she would have a cool
Seven
head.
has
Most of her brain matter is machinery.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So fun
Wait,
fact.
I don't even know what this
sometimes-
episode's about yet. Like, what's happening?
It's not about anything. Don't worry about it.
Not really.
Harry and Kim make love forever. Sorry, Harry and Paris.
No, Harry and Kim. Harry was himself.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes those liquid
Harry
metal
and Kim
radiators
make love, but he's
leak
alone.
into space, and produce a bunch of little liquid metal ball bearings zipping through space at 20,000 miles an hour. And it can cause problems.
Ryan, can I
Neelix
That's
just-
pretty slow
exploiting
for
the
space,
fact
it
that he
sounds
knows
fine.
he's terrible. Poor doctor. What did he do to deserve this?
Why does the doctor actually need light to see anyway?
And there's another place where Tuvok's in a coma, and Neelix is playing Vulcan music.
If
And he's
anyone
like,
can
"Oh,
provoke Mr. Tuvok, Neelix, it's you.
right." And so, but like, why can't the doctor just turn off his hearing? Like, doctors should be able to.
Oh,
And you can't
Yeah.
hear if someone's in pain.
That's fine.
Right.
They can deal with it.
Those eyes are too big.
Your
Yeah.
eyes are too
those
big.
ears. Those ears, not eyes. Ears.
Wait, how are the leather seats in the open atmosphere surviving
Fine.
the 270C?
It's space leather.
Actually,
It's 270K.
No, it's
Material science
270C. It's
continually
500K.
progresses.
Sorry, 230C.
It's probably not
And-
real leather. Like, we don't even use real leather for seats now.
It's space leather.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine?
And another question:
actually.
why do they have leather when they are all vegan or
It's vegan
vegetarian?
leather.
I don't know.
Like,
From
you-
the vegan animal.
Can you imagine the veal industry lasting until like the Federation?
I was just reading that car companies, they make deals with cattle ranchers in Brazil for like X amount of cattle to make the leather for their cars.
Don't they eat real meat in TOS?
It's
Um,
replicated.
Don't they have meat cubes?
I can. So hold on. I have uniquely able to answer this question. A review. Whether they use the leather in the cars or not, that leather is either going in a car or going in landfill because we kill so much beef for food that there's nothing else to
Delicious
do with the
beef.
leather. Like
We have so much spare
Yeah.
skin.
yeah, like literally, if people are upset about leather being in their cars, it's literally gonna go in a landfill if it doesn't go in a car. So might as well go in a car.
I mean, I wasn't being environmental about it. I was just making it.
I mean, if anything,
just
leather is
saying that's-
biodegradable.
That's how much. Yeah, it's actually. I mean, all things considered, it's better than a lot of other alternatives like
Plastic.
synthetic materials.
I would
So
have
like the tanning and curing process is a little toxic, but it's not as bad as the vegan materials, the quote unquote vegan materials.
like leather, which doesn't degrade and actually causes microplastics.
Yeah,
Falls
like there's a
apart.
lot of
Like
advantages
leather doesn't
to
even
leather.
last close to like the cheapest leather.
A lot of emphasis is put on like how much CO2 an individual unit of something costs to make, but then no one thinks about, well, when's this thing going to need replaced?
Oh, Chakotay is going to die. 7, give him the
Oh
push.
no, not Chakotay.
No, I'm glad that this was Chakotay and not Neelix, because if it was Neelix, I think Seven would have just kicked him down.
Yes.
Long live the captain. So yeah,
Then he came back as a
now the
deuterium
episode.
clone.
I have good news. The episode has actually started now.
Yeah,
Only been how
somehow.
long?
How deep into the episode are we?
Honestly,
thought they-
that reveal of Tom pulling him up and being not in his suit, that should have been the cold open.
Yeah, that should have been.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're looking
Oh.
for Tom and Harry. They've been missing down here for an hour. This is a very dangerous environment. Holy shit, we slipped. Oh my god, they're out of their suits.
Yeah, but just
thought they
remember
were
what
killed.
he said. He said my life was flickering and I was passing puberty. And I just thought, you actually went through puberty? Tom?
Yeah, true.
But what's really funny is that when he says my life was flashing before my eyes, I think what he meant was that he was just downloading Paris's info.
Oh, you mean like a Cylon in BSG?
Kinda. Like the reason why he remembered his life flashing before his eyes was because he was literally just copying Paris's memories.
Okay, this definitely feels like an attempt at murder. Just take
Here's
your
the thing.
helmets off. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I think Paris thinks he's Paris.
Yeah,
So-
he does.
So
Yeah.
I think this is just negligent homicide and not murder.
But if I were them, I would definitely feel like this was an attempted murder. Like something is wrong. Like, is that a hologram? Is this? This is definitely
one
a
of them.
Yeah,
trap.
yeah, that's what I'm asking myself. Can I kill something that isn't alive?
Well, I mean, how many times would you kill a hologram before you're a murderer?
The
If you
doctor is
forcibly turn
killed
off a
every time when
hologram, is
he's
that
shut off.
murder?
I mean, I feel bad every time I shut down my computer.
Yeah, really. I apologize apologizing to the CPU. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but now you live again.
You only need to apologize for shutting off the computer if you do it by holding down the power button.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
okay, okay, yeah,
Because
I
that
know what
feels
Yeah,
it
like
that just
murder.
feels wrong. It does.
That's wrong.
It feels like I have my thumb pressed up against a man's carotid artery, and I'm staring him dead in the and I'm staring him dead in the eyes. I watch the light
Hush
leave
now,
his
it'll be
eyes.
okay.
Just help me on that. That one Vulcan engineer. What was his name?
Vorik.
Vorik. Yeah, thank you.
Boric or Toric or Joric or Boric.
No, it's Vorik.
Oh, wow, Harry has gills.
His skills.
We could beam the whole crew down without their suits. Trust us. It's fine.
I'm sorry, but shouldn't like there should be like an actual like lecture or what do you call it? What do you call a class in college? A class? Just a class of what do you do when you suspect your superior officer has been replaced by a shape-shifting alien?
Would it?
Yeah, there needs to be a
So
class
you're in
on
the
it.
middle of an alien conspiracy. Not good news. No, very not good news.
Dead weight.
Also, a few kilos is nothing. I guess it's just a sample to test.
So what function does deuterium have for the warp core? Is it just
It
a
reacts with
stabilizer?
the antimatter and annihilates.
So you
The
could
question is, where's the antimatter coming from?
Don't worry about it.
so you can literally
From the
just like
anti-universe, I think.
so you could literally just throw like hair clippings and nail clippings
Yeah, it
into
doesn't
it, and
matter.
it this does not matter.
I think it only matters because the system is designed to like throw deuterium in at specific velocities at specific rates, and it would mess up if you use something else.
Can you imagine if there was an alien species that literally like used a stabilizer as like their hair and fingernail clippings?
Wow, the screens would be an infinite source of power.
God. I think in DS9 they actually do mention how much dandruff they're leaving everywhere.
They're so gross.
I know.
Is that even their species, or have they just not showered in like a year?
I think that was universal about them, so
That's such a bullshit statement from Enelix. If you ever need a place to stay, my door's always open. Yeah, he's a hologram. His home is the CPU or the hard drive. Oh no, Harry and Tom are dying. I am
Oh,
so happy.
not them. What will we ever do without Harry Kim?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Listen to Les Clarinet. Oh,
I
that sounds rather good.
go to the mirror universe where he's a captain.
Excuse
Wait,
me.
Doctor, you didn't transport any gas from the planet. Did you just have it?
Yeah.
I think he replicated some, or
Is is that just like on standby in case he needs to asphyxiate the crew?
Oh jeez.
well, I mean,
Also,
So the doctor has the power to gas the whole crew at any
yeah.
time.
well,
I
yes,
don't like
anesthetizing
Voyager's
gas can
landing
actually be
struts. They look
pumped
like
into.
legs.
Well, anesthetizing gas can actually be flooded into the air system. So yeah, the doctor can
Yeah.
at any point just turn
He can kill
Voyager into a
everybody.
giant gas. Yeah, he can turn Voyager into a giant gas chamber.
So the doctor is the true captain.
Correct. Well, I mean, if you think in power structures, the CMO can actually relieve a captain.
Yeah, he can. Oh, Janeway and tests. No, 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 no. You've seen Kate Mulgrew recently?
No.
Is she doing something?
She got big.
Yeah, everyone gets big when they're old.
She's
Yeah,
earned
but I
it.
mean, super fat.
And
That's
she's
it.
doing. I mean, she's doing voice work. It doesn't really matter.
She's on something. Isn't she play the CIA director on something?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
She made an appearance in that movie about an alien who comes to Earth that was initially played by God, who's that famous actor?
You mean Wash?
No, it was something else.
Okay.
I'm trying.
Okay, Balana and tests. No, definitely no.
So I found a picture of recent Kate Mulgrew. She's not that big. She looks like Kate. Looks like Kate
Okay.
Mulgrew to me.
But I feel like Seven isn't scanning the planet. She's just scanning Kim.
I mean, she should be. Though, what are the LEDs on their chests for?
Possibly for visibility.
It's very festive.
Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, maybe it's Christmas or something.
Like, is that one light sort of in the middle? Is that their heart rate?
Ah, there's LSD in the atmosphere. Got it.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
then,
but
Harry, just stay.
yeah, it's LSD. Man, guys, I love you so much. I feel just connected with one of everything.
Just vibing.
Oh, a screensaver.
They're really poor scientists because you can't start breathing another atmosphere out of nowhere.
What do you mean? It's Star Trek. That thing happens like every other week. It's fine.
I don't think this blatantly.
There's always something crazy happening. They just don't question it anymore. Just go with it. They don't care. No, don't touch
This
it,
is
Janeway.
no,
What?
don't touch it. Jesus,
Oh, sorry,
I know.
Balana. Don't. What's wrong with you?
get it off.
This is this is like the episode where Jordy has a girlfriend.
Cut it
and
off.
turns out to
Cut
be a
it off.
No,
dog.
Balana. It's
That's
definitely
okay.
necessary.
Oh.
It's the same creature.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay,
I
we
thought
kill
they have a redundancy for everything. So cut the damn thumb off, and then another
It'll
appears.
grow back. It's fine.
Yeah, she's Klingon.
God, humans should be able to grow stuff back.
We
Our
really
species
should.
sucks.
Well,
I don't
actually,
understand why evolution got rid of
Oh.
that starfish ability.
actually, two things actually really funny. Children actually have that ability up until like 2, but it depends on which body parts. Like if you cut off a child's nose before they before the 3 months of age, they can actually grow back a slightly smaller nose. But
That's
secondly,
cartilage, though. That's different.
but secondly, the reason why that gene might have actually been deactivated in the human genome is because it's actually linked to an oncogene, which leads to the promotion of certain cancers.
Mm.
It's fine. The bit that gets cancer, we can cut it off and grow it again.
By the way, how long
Office
are they
internal.
lying there without oxygen?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Speed of plot.
Okay.
They're on low breathing mode.
I mean, they are unconscious.
Okay.
They're on
They're
hibernate.
just chilling there, right?
Yeah. This reminds me of a Discovery episode where like the ship is falling underneath ice or something.
Is that the one with the ensigns?
It's where
No,
like
that was the Tilly becomes assertive, and there's the gunslinger guy.
yeah, through the saloon.
That's the
They're like,
first one where they're in the future.
yeah.
It's like the ice is sentient and is trying to claim the ship.
Yeah.
And Starfleet, in its infinite quest for new life and new civilization, does what with with the ice?
Well, you gotta take off.
The ensigns,
Kim.
Kim. That's a
Excellent.
good line,
Oh, they are
Tuvok.
Good
refusing.
grammar.
Just
Good
shoot them.
grammar. Good grammar, Tuvok. Because
Surgeons
it's like
General, ensigns, Kim.
attorneys general. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I hadn't thought of that, Janeway. Thank you. I'll
So
just compensate.
When did the
Isn't it-
entire ship become cloned? And like how did our ship miss that?
Don't worry, it's fine.
That's the answer to everything, right?
Yeah.
So, do the crew just not do anything until Janeway says to compensate? Do they just sit there? Let it happen?
like only 2 decks are submerged and everybody is replicated from the deuterium.
Oh, no. I think I assume that Janeway is just racist.
What do you
She
mean?
does not think about that a black Vulcan can do his job on without
He's
any
her
command.
best friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're. If you've
Well-
read the Academy books or the authorized Janeway autobiography that got released like a few months back, like Janeway and Tuvok were like bros in the Academy.
And
We
from
see it in the
episode 1,
series,
they have
too.
a close, yeah, episode 1 they have a close relationship. Like that's her right hand man. Like she trusts him more than she trusts
Chakotay.
her own right hand.
But then
Who-
not Chakotay, Tuvok gets kind of weird about it. It's like, I have made a close study of the captain's behavior. It's like, don't phrase it like that, Tuvok.
Don't do it, that man.
Wasn't Tuvok already like 90 and teaching at the academy by the time Janeway was there?
Yeah, they mentioned later Tuvok enlisted in Starfleet twice. So one
He's
has to be
left.
like, yeah, one has to be when he was on the Enterprise B, and then the other has to be like when he rejoined under Janeway.
One was when he was under Sulu's command, and then the second time was probably when they were in the Academy together.
Yeah, Sulu commanded the Enterprise B, JJ.
No, Sulu's ship was called the what again?
Excelsior.
Yeah, so it was back when he was on the Excelsior.
Sorry.
She said that liquid recreates everything it touches. So if it touches the doctor, does it recreate a RTX 3090?
No, but actually, wait, did they have a deuterium
that
copy of the
recreates
Doctor?
ship. Yeah, they they had the ship, so the ship generates the hologram.
The
So
Silver
it's a
Blood
bullshit
copied all the
hologram. It's a biologic.
programming.
Oh Jesus! It's a biological hologram.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's cool.
Look, don't read into it too far. Just know that it
I'm
works.
trying not to.
It has a terrible ending, so don't don't get too excited.
God, I cry like a little bitch every time I hear Tom Paris talk about their honeymoon.
What?
You mean in the next episode?
What honeymoon?
The replicas of Paris and Taurus. Taurus is dying
Oh.
because she was closer to the engines the longest. So she was dying first, and it's just Paris, like talking to her over the bay, and he's just talking about how much like he loves her, and he's nearly crying, and I get really emotional when I watch it. It's really good acting.
So here, the beings, the deuterium beings, they know that they're not really us.
Real- I think
Like on a subconscious level, because he talks to the planet.
He's a glitch.
And then like in the episode where the whole ship is replicated, They're like, yeah, we just agreed to forget that we're not the original crew.
Say what you will, I kind of like how there isn't a science officer, and so it was given to Janeway.
Mm-hmm.
Did all the science officers die at the caretaker?
I think they did.
No, but George H.W. Bush was director of the CIA, and he
Definitely
was
not a
also
science officer.
and he was ambassador to China at one point. So when he became president, it was understood that the China desk is the Oval Office. You don't need to do China policy for George H.W. Bush. So
Don't you see?
Janeway doesn't need a science officer. She is the science officer. And as I have pointed out before, she was science officer under Paris's father, Eugene Paris, later Admiral Paris.
Hmm.
That's why she's very close to Tom Paris as well. And to
So is this goo changeling goo or what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's essentially changeling goo.
But he's
deuterium.
metal changeling goo.
So yeah, it could be metal. The changelings can change into whatever they want.
God, I feel
Yeah,
so
you
bad
know,
for the
changeling could
Silver
just, like,
Bloods, though.
start it as goo.
Yeah,
Their
like
first
you-
experience with sentience is Harry Kim.
Oh god,
Yeah, the planet is just realizing we're fucked.
like those Chinese scientists who gave those monkeys anxiety.
Is that why they get the engine really fast? Is because it's a bunch of Harry Kims, like, just like constantly working on their side projects. He loves a good science project.
I mean, if you believe Harry Kim remembering himself being in his mother's womb, he was kind of a bit of a wunderkind. He's just hamstrung by his own activities.
I wouldn't say having early memories makes you special.
really?
But your memories and stuff and experience won't carry in the DNA. That's not how that works, Janeway.
I
Nope.
think she was just being brief for everyone else. Like, you copy them down to the genetic and chemical level.
I
Memories are
think
only.
I think she's just fucking with him.
He's Harry Kim. He won't notice.
Yeah,
Wow.
you're right. He's explaining it to like it's Harry Kim. So,
I'll explain later. We're being assimilated.
does anyone else think this is a Prime
So-
Directive violation?
Janeway creates the problem of like the duplicate Voyager ship.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's fine. Space is filled with radiation that takes care of that. Oh no, wait, the engine does it, doesn't it?
Yeah, they invent a ship that is harmless to humanoid life.
The engine radiation is specifically damaging to the metal goo they're made out of.
Did
the whole
everybody
ship
on the
starts to
ship
fly
consent
apart.
to this?
I
This-
think
they didn't know. They forgot that they were
no,
goo.
no. were
It's
ordered.
the order of the
No, no,
captain.
no.
them.
they were ordered to go to Bay 1.
And everybody had to be so like
Oh no.
that
All
TNG
the people
episode.
who went were consenting. It was
No.
voluntary.
So
She
that
ordered-
TNG episode
just
where
imagine if
Captain
they had the
Captain-
wrong Harry Kim on board, and they're just doing their usual bridge stuff, and he melts into a puddle, and just Janeway looks at him. Oh no! Anyway,
that TNG episode where they want to clone everybody, and Captain Picard's like, "Oh, I think you'll find that nobody will be willing to be cloned because I would take away our
Yeah.
uniqueness."
Was that
Janeway
season-
avoided
season
that by
two
just
was.
saying-
Lansky was in that episode.
Hold on. It was season 2, episode
It was
17,
season
Up
2.
the Long Ladder. You know, the one that had Call Meany teleport the Irish stereotypes
Wait.
onto the Enterprise.
Yeah,
right.
that
So
one.
then there was the compromise was that they were gonna interbreed with the Irish colonists.
Which those like they said, oh yeah, and the women have to have
and
like 2 to 3
take
partners.
multiple husbands, right?
And I'm like, are they consenting to this? No.
Nope.
The Irish
They didn't
people
ask
are
it.
just.
She seemed pretty gung ho about it.
Yeah, she did. There's a whole colony there.
Well,
But like
apparently
the
she
choice for the
represents all of
colony
them.
was do that or suffer destruction because you die out. So like,
Or just go
Yeah.
somewhere
know.
else.
You want to know who only suffers destruction? The Mariposans, not the Irish people. Why are you using the Irish people to supplement your own pain?
Alright, 1 minute to the final episode today. One, which is not the Borg drone from the future. It's not that episode.
Hey,
That's drone.
does anyone else remember that weird episode of TNG where like the Federation was actually engaging in like weird genetic experiments that like made 6-year-olds have the bodies of 20-year-olds and gave them telepathy and telekinesis?
Oh yeah, and they like attacked viruses in other people's bodies and killed them.
How is this not kosher in the Federation?
Don't worry about it. They hadn't established the anti-augment law by that point.
That
The writers
episode was
hadn't
so
thought of that
frustrating.
yet.
I think Harry and Paris are very happy together on that planet.
Alright, everyone press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. So, as we're watching this episode, just compare and contrast to the Enterprise episode with Dr. Phlox alone on the ship. With the dog and his movies, and the giant ants.
And the nakeds wandering about the med bay.
Yeah.
Giant ants.
Yeah, he imagined Zindian sectoids.
Oh.
So you want to know something really funny? I think in the German dub, they refer to Ensign Kim in this as Commander Kim. And
What?
everyone,
Yeah.
it was just a translation dub, but everyone kept on shitting on it. Like, yeah, he got demoted.
Okay. I mean, I'm German, and I don't remember that
Hold
this
on,
was a thing.
let me pull up the translation.
Oh, this is that line. Describe your sexual relationship to Lieutenant Paris. And Bolana's about to punch Seven. I've had enough.
It's okay, they're not real. They're not real.
I've had enough.
It can't hurt you.
Like, that's what Seven thinks is small talk. Asking somebody to describe their sexual relationship with their
Hey, review,
SO.
describe how you came to find the channel.
The YouTube algorithm.
Tell me more about New York.
Tall buildings.
Tell me more about tall buildings.
Is made of steel.
Tell me more about steel. This is how video game conversations work. There's one detail in a conversation your character goes, tell me more about whatever. Until you get
The
to
last time-
You mean like in Skyrim?
Yeah.
She just has like the dialogue wheel.
Tell me more
She was-
about nebulas.
You're not going to ask me the last time I had a sexual partner?
No, I don't want to know.
I don't want to know either.
Oh god, Harry, are you dying again?
Please.
Just do it!
Kill him. He is weak.
Do you get to the Cloud District very often?
Yeah, man, I go there all the time. That's where I buy all my soul gems.
Jeez, nice. Oh no, it's a headache!
Did anyone else's first Black Soul victim end up being Nazim?
I honestly don't think I've ever killed Nazim.
Like once I learned that I could like harness a humanoid soul, I just immediately thought Nazim.
Well, I can't tell you what my first Black Soul victim was because I didn't start with Skyrim. I liked Elder Scrolls before it was cool.
Oblivion.
Back when, you were raptured by an intoxicating experience, believing that you could kill a god.
God, it's so weird. I still have never beaten the main quest of Morrowind. I keep just like stopping a couple hours in. I don't think I've beaten any questline. Like, I've started a bunch. I don't think I've beaten any questline in Morrowind.
Yeah, dude, that's just like when I watch PSG, I can't watch the last 2 episodes.
Where
Oh,
it's
you want to?
revealed that she was a spooky ghost the whole time.
An angel.
I have never finished TNG.
No. Okay. I know why the last episode is bullshit. I know.
The last episode's amazing, even though it
Right.
kind of doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, and it does, and it's a great. It's good. It's just I've never seen it.
You should see it. What's wrong with you?
But
Just
then
to realize
again,
that it is bullshit.
It's one of the greatest science fiction episodes ever. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like, I think like I recently Avengers Endgame was modeled after TNG. All good things.
I wouldn't be surprised considering how creatively bankrupt most people in Hollywood are.
Is All Good Things the only TNG episode you haven't seen?
Yeah,
Okay.
like I've seen all of the bad ones, like all of season 1, all of season 2, every single one. I just haven't seen All Good Things.
A bigger sick bay might be handy right about now.
Hmm.
Let's make a holographic one.
I like how Tuvok is the most
Useful?
resistant to headaches.
Is it bad that it would actually have like blood
That's
coming out of their eyes,
interesting
nose,
headache
and
she's
throat?
having.
Like, is it weird that I would actually have like everyone bleeding at this point, either out of the ears, the nose, or the eyes, and have Tuvok just bleed green?
Mm-hmm.
You could do that for sure. Oh, written by Jerry Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, not the guy who's so badly injured we can't even identify him.
Identify
Not
him.
that guy. So, is this just Mutara class nebulas in general, or just this one?
This one in
I
particular.
think like this one was created because there's some alien species that's causing it.
No, I think it's just a natural weather space phenomena.
No, it's gone by the end of
Space
the episode.
weather.
Oh, by the way, did anyone here play Star Trek Armada 2?
Yes,
The Cardassian music is really baller.
best Star Trek game ever in terms of.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But the Mutara nebulas were a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and Armada 1 didn't have that problem.
Never played that.
Why did he sound so happy when he said that? It's like, ah, finally, it'll be quiet.
Remember, he's a machine, not a human.
Emergency command hologram.
Yeah. ECH, what the fuck?
I've examined all the alternatives, Captain. The only option, our only choice, is to give me unchallenged control of the entire ship.
I was watching the TNG episode. So this is the end of season 1, Neutral Zone. But there's a random B plot of like them finding 21st century humans in the cryostasis.
Mhm.
And like something to remember of like season 1 TNG, like science fiction was in like magazines, short stories, and anthologies. So like having like these random subplots makes a lot of sense when you have like Isaac Asimov writing short stories for magazines and like winning Nebula Awards and all them. But yeah, we don't see too much cryostasis outside of Khan in Star Trek. But here we go. This episode's about cryostasis.
I think what's really funny is that like Crusher says, yeah, these people just had a natural fear of death. They did everything to stave it off. Unlike us, we're just so evolved. And I'm like, humans don't fear death in the future? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
So Janeway said, or Seven asked her, I was like, oh, you doubt my ability to do this? And Janeway said, oh, not at all. I doubt her ability to do this. She's going to get you all assimilated. She hasn't been here that long.
Oh, not gonna lie, I would totally expect some weird Manchurian candidate program to flip, consciously or no, if she
Sleeper
realized
agent.
that she, If she had a like, okay, if the Borg wanted to assimilate people quicker, they should just do sleeper agents. Because wouldn't it be that hard to make all the implants internal?
It shouldn't be. Otherwise, there would be outplans.
In the episode where Seven like rejoins the collective, like under the Borg Queen's tutelage, coming up, the Borg Queen says that they're going to introduce like nanoprobes into Earth's atmosphere and slowly assimilate Earth's population that way.
Like, wouldn't that just be a more efficient way? Just seed a planet with nanoprobes and have the inhabitants build the technology that you want them to build, like spaceships and weaponry, so that way they are effectively a whole new fighting force made exogenously.
That would be really funny if Seven of Nine was a sleeper agent all along, and in the last episode everyone gets assimilated. Well, fuck.
So this
Have you ever?
nebula in the diagram, it looked like it was about as tall as it is wide. I feel like I would rather spare a month to just go over than to be put in a stasis chamber for a whole month.
Yeah,
This feels real dangerous.
yeah. Like, for a ship this size, what's the minimal crew complement you would need just to keep it afloat?
70, I think. Roundabout.
The Borg drone? No, he's worried about the doctor, isn't he?
You would sing opera to us all the time.
Remember that time she tried to assimilate us twice?
Yeah, the fan fiction writers write about it all the time.
Hmm.
Do they write about how Kate Mulgrew and Jerry Ryan hate each other?
No. I think, yeah, when Jerry actually first appeared, I think Kate was giving her such bad anxiety attacks she was vomiting on set.
Oof. Jerry vomited? Wait.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kate
like
Mulgrew was
mean.
she jealous of her? What
No,
was
she
the
was upset because she replaced Cass. And it was this whole like, yeah, they're replacing a good character with like a sex object.
And they basically made Seven the star of the show, and previously it was Janeway.
Yeah.
Janeway was a sex object? When?
No, 7
Oh,
compared to Cass.
Oh, okay.
okay, unrelated, but surely this wouldn't feel like waking up from a nap at the end, because the whole point of sleep is your brain like does stuff to fix itself, right? And here their brains are just off. It's
If
not
anything, it
doing
should just
anything.
be turning it should be essentially just like the, doctor from Living
How can
Witness,
he,
where they're on
No
here,
time
then
has
off the
passed. You're
second.
just there.
Mhm.
how can he be claustrophobic if he's a pilot? Like, aren't a lot of cockpits going to be
It's a
really,
big
really
bridge.
cramped? I don't know, but like,
A
you know,
runabout is like the size of my
small
living room for
shuttle.
the cockpit. It's pretty big.
I just imagine that must have piloted some very small craft at some point.
Maybe. Don't worry, the claustrophobia will never come up again after this.
That's right. It's not a character trait. It's just a useful plot device in this one episode.
Oh wow, you can immediately tell the background pods are CG.
You don't say.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh wow, we're already a third of the way through. And we're less than a third of the way through the episode. I feel like something might happen. Feels like there might be some kind of incident. Is that coffee?
I think it's like Neelix's protein slurry.
Oh no.
Protein slurry, my favorite.
By Neelix. His very special own protein.
Like, I made the joke about, like, Go-Gurts, but, like, it is arguably, like, the most calorically dense and easiest thing to consume.
Honestly, I want them to just get rid of the music here and just have sound, ship sounds. Just to really emphasize nothing is happening.
Yeah.
Okay, one thing. Why has 7 of 9 high heels?
I don't know, why does Captain Janeway have high heels?
Why
She's a cap.
shouldn't she have high heels?
Can you imagine if, like, 7 of 9 was dressed like a 1940s, like, iron welder? Just giant fucking boots.
The heels are to help with her Borg superstructure.
Come on, don't lie, it was Rick Berman.
Oh, he actually left his unit. That wasn't a hallucination. Wow.
Or was it?
How? Did he actually? Because the doctor seems to be aware of it, but is the doctor a hallucination?
Is everything a hallucination? Are you already here?
Are the high heels a hallucination?
Jeez. So they are using Fahrenheit, not Celsius, right?
Yes. I hope so, Jesus.
Mhm.
Yeah, otherwise that would be... well, he would be cooked.
Ah, lovely sous vide Tom Paris.
Oh, gross.
Wouldn't it be more of a
Sous vide
crock
Tom
pot?
Paris.
What?
Mm.
Wouldn't it be more like a slow cooker or a crock pot inside those things?
Oh yeah, it's a pressure chamber. That would work.
It's a pressure cooker.
So the unit for temperature in the future is Fahrenheit. I have to struggle with that.
Oh,
Pressure
likewise.
cooker is to cook things faster, and then this crock pot or slow cooker is to cook things over several hours.
Mhm.
Is this a flashback or a dream? What's happening
This is
here?
the
It's a
holodeck.
hologram, right?
It's the holodeck program.
Oh, okay.
This is like okay, so
Because I don't think that Janeway would ever dress like that. I mean that dress is hideous.
okay, can I so I'm gonna explain some weird psychological stuff for you. You know how like autistic kids don't like hanging out with people?
Yeah.
This is essentially the doctor prescribing mandatory playtime for 7 with other people.
I I suppose
And
so.
it's hideous, right?
Well, I mean, what he's doing is he's
I'm
trying
not
to
fond
make
of the
sure
She's
that
material.
a
awful.
natural human impulse for socialization is fulfilled. Because if you
Ugh.
don't go into it in a social situation as a person for a long time, it grinds on your mental state.
Speak for yourself, Argos.
I handled the
People.
I handled the pandemic just fine, and all I did was develop a crippling alcohol problem.
But Janeway's dress, yeah, I'm not keen on the material. It looks too like velvety.
Mhm.
I think it'd look okay if it was just made of something else.
It would look okay if she wouldn't look like a grandma.
Looks fine. I don't know what that means in this context. Do grandmas wear velvet?
I don't know. Does
She
yours?
do she does look like, a
My grandma
noir
don't wear
widow.
nothing except dirt.
Janeway in this does kinda look like, the murderous widow of a man during a noir novel saying, "Why, hello there, my husband died. I
Oh,
need you
that's
to
so
look in the
appropriate.
Oh, that's good.
We've seen her holodeck programs.
I need you to go
Yeah,
look into this for the insurance money, you see. My
you
husband's
know,
was in
she
a
likes to
traffic
screw around with
accident."
a no. It was Da
J
Vinci, right?
no, Jane Eyre and Da Vinci, yeah.
Yeah.
This must be a bottle episode, right?
Yeah, nothing
Like,
happens.
No,
Don't worry about it.
not even paying much of the or using much of the crew,
Some,
the
yeah,
cast. I
very
mean,
mu
in some way.
hey, but some of our best episodes are bottle episodes, like Measure of a
I
Man
know
and Duet.
Yeah.
bottle episodes are awesome. I'm just
Oh, that was great. Yeah.
realizing it.
No, just let the doctor do it.
Yeah, why couldn't he do it?
He's a hologram.
It doesn't look like the hole's breaching. It looks okay. Okay, internal sensors are a little messed up. Good, good. That's
Yeah.
always
What
fun.
would happen if she was flooded by plasma? Then
She would die.
Yeah, she would be like the ball queen at the end of First Contact.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
What happens? Jog my memory.
Basically, all of the human flesh gets melted away, and all there's left is like a weird skull with a rising
Oh, right.
spinal
Yeah,
cord.
right.
And it's a very fragile spinal cord, despite
Yeah,
me
we're
being
Seven
metal.
of Nine isn't really like that
And
anymore.
Beta could
She's
break
had
it. I
like
don't know if I could.
most of her implants removed.
is it? Do we know how much of her is still human?
He
I
said
don't
he
think it's
I
removed
anything.
most
think
of the
part of
implants.
her head, part of her skull is Borg.
Oh wow, look at that panel. I feel like this panel could be swapped out with different things in different episodes.
It's, yeah, plug it in, plug it out.
Are you
Also, is that a
telling us that
microwave?
this
I think that's a
Jeffrey
microwave.
A microwave.
what, a microwave? Okay.
It looks like they put some stickers on a microwave to me.
Well, how's the chicken going?
Don't cook chicken in a microwave. That's how you get salmonella.
The color grading has changed, right?
So I think what's revealed later to be the cause of this, I'm like, wait a minute, why do you still have this aboard? Because it's revealed that they still have the bioneural gel packs aboard, and those are being affected by the nebula.
Mm.
Yeah, so the ship should just be turned off by now, right? Just they're all dead?
I know this sounds weird, but since inertia doesn't exist in space, sorry, resistance, what's stopping them from just turning off most things and, just gunning it?
Ah, well, here they're in a sci fi nebula, which means it's super, super dense, and there's tons of gas to slow them.
Ah,
It wouldn't be a problem if they just went around.
they said it would take years.
But how? The diagram showed it was just go over. It's not a big deal.
Like, if they said, hey, it's just a giant bubble,
Ryan,
That's me. I'm Ryan.
don't worry about that.
is this another holodeck program or is this a hallucination?
Hollow, I think.
Hallucination.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, she's
dream.
dreaming.
She should be cold.
Well, are you always cold in a dream?
Well, I mean, I am because I keep my house 55
Well, it
degrees.
depends. If you're really warm because of like your bed covers, then your dreams reflect that and find
What's
a
that?
reason for you being warm.
How was it called? A unimetric zero?
I don't. I'm very concerned that we're on the 29th day of a month-long trip, and we're only halfway through the episode.
Yeah, she does she's starting to hallucinate and stuff.
I mean, that's better
Got
than,
a bit of
Dr. Flock.
Phlox almost shot the captain's dog. Except not really, because don't worry about it.
You know, 7 of 9 is going insane when she calls Neelix for help.
Give it a
Good word.
second. Maybe it's busy.
Beep boop.
7, if this is a big issue for the computer, just pull out the joystick and turn it yourself.
but she needs that joystick.
A diagnostic found something. It's amazing. It never happens.
Who would have thunk?
Computer, I feel like you should do this yourself. Why do you have to be ordered to do this?
Then Seven would have nothing to do. The computer would literally do everything.
Seriously, it's not
that's a
that
big
tall. It's
plot
really
hole.
long.
The whole series, the computer could just do everything all the time. Why do they
Yeah,
even have people
why do
on
we
starships?
have to have a cook? We have replicators, right?
We didn't have a cook. He just showed up and took over the room.
Well, that's his business.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Actually-
useful for other reasons, so that's why he's kept around as a cook.
He's useful as a
He
punching
didn't-
bag.
He didn't just take over the mess hall, he took over the captain's mess. He turned her private dining room into a kitchen.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
brought some
Begs the
order to her
question,
mess.
Where was the kitchen before he created it?
I don't
Was
think
there a
there was
kitchen?
one. I don't think there was one if you have replicators.
He just comes with the kitchen packed up.
Where is the captain's private mess? I would assume it would be attached to the captain's quarters, but the
was-
crew
It
goes in and out all
was
the time.
his.
The whole
It
ship is
was
a
the
private
room-
mess.
It was the room that Neelix turned into a kitchen. Like if you go to the pilot where Neelix's kitchen is early in the episode, there's walls there, and then when he turns it into a kitchen, he tore out those walls, and she's like, "What happened to my captain's mess?"
So is he a hallucination?
Yes.
Yes.
So is
This episode,
his
look, I
ugliness
don't-
a hallucination?
I don't specifically remember what happens, but I know for 100% certain all problems that show up are going to be imagined, and everyone's just going to wake up totally fine at the end. There are no real threats.
You love the alien design, though.
I think we see his design again. Four weeks.
Like, I kind of like Voyager and Enterprise level makeup because it doesn't go completely insane.
Wasn't it a theory that because the aliens are all mostly looking like humans, but with a few derives like his face, but they all are coming from the same race?
Yeah, it was they were all seeded by the same species as
The-
a Vanity project
The progenitors,
In the Delta quadrant as well.
everywhere really.
Wow.
the entire galaxy.
Yeah, because they explicitly said we found the galaxy and we found it barren.
There was not the founder lady.
No, but it was the same
you know.
actress.
It's the same
Yes,
actress. What I'm
Ptolemy.
saying, she's not the founder. You know, refer to her as not the founder.
But I like very simple facial makeup because it allows the actors to actually be able to act.
Oh my god, Seven,
I was gonna
just
say
shoot
we
him.
don't see enough non-humanoid.
Yes,
species
Seven,
in-
thank
in
you.
Star Trek.
Oh my god, Ryan, you can control the TV.
For once in my life, Seven and I are on the same wavelength. Shoot him.
Why even are you allowing him to take away the equipment? Tell him to
I
fucking
think they're
drop it.
trading.
I mean, and all what's actually happening right now is she's carrying it around.
I think she's
No
just
one's
walking
here.
around with a phaser out.
Here's the thing, right? So let's say she's gonna beam him back to his ship with the stuff that she traded. She could just beam him back and keep the stuff.
He could.
But then he's gonna try to like attack, and it's gonna be a hassle.
Well, in that case, then you make a transporter accident.
Yeah, beam
Oh, yeah,
him
there
into
you
the
go. Just
nebula.
put him in the
No.
buffer forever.
No, you just swap his brain and his intestines, and then boom, no more issue.
Yikes.
It's messed up.
Well, it's just I've always thought that the transporter would be a fantastic weapon of war.
You mean just beam any warhead in and boom?
Well, that or like as a use of like demoralization. Like imagine if you can beam out someone's appendix or beam out their liver.
Oh yeah.
And so you have to have like at least because I remember reading a statistic that in war, a injured soldier is more of a detriment to a military than a dead soldier because that means that you have to still like give them equipment and tend to them
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
opposed to a
that's
dead
right.
soldier. So like if you beam off a guy's arms, you have to have 3 guys devote time and attention to his recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Now I understand that's a war crime, but I
Who
don't think
cares?
but I don't think people in the future actually care about war crimes anymore because the Federation does use mines still.
Mines are all
Oh,
crimes.
he or she has a phaser rifle, right?
Yep. Okay,
It's
sorry.
they have to use them more. Not
Really,
not those hand phasers. They're real guns.
the problem with mines is that they're buried underground, so you don't know totally where they all are, and random people can just stumble into them. Space mines are just kind of there, sitting out. You can just look at them.
I mean, they're kind
Except
of like
that
naval
one time they're
mines.
invisible
Or out of
and
phase.
mining a major shipping lane.
Hold on. So the only time that it's really questionable was when the Federation mined the wormhole. But
Yeah,
then
the
the
major shipping
founders
lane.
Okay, but then the founders made invisible mines that phase in and out and they explode randomly. And those are
Yeah,
explicitly just terror
The
weapons.
Houdini mines.
Yes. It's like granted, still bad, but like at least one is more morally acceptable.
but hey, at
Is
least
it?
the founders
I don't think
committed.
so.
You know, back in the day when you would get bayoneted, you know, like you would just die from infection or like one
Yeah,
gunshot would.
the
So it's
bayonet was
like,
the bayonet was triangular shapes, that way you couldn't stitch them back together.
so you know, casualties have diminished because of better medicine and triage. But yeah, you're right. It is more expensive to have living survivors of a war than dead ones.
Computer scan for life signs?
Now music is missing. That's good.
Oh, so sensors can't detect him, I see.
This is so Enterprise, like when they're traveling through the expanse and like having
Where do you think
hallucinations.
they got the
Yeah,
idea?
yeah. I'm thinking about that episode
It's the
also.
same episode.
Was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Phlox and Porthos.
And the hallucination of a T'Pol. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, despite the episode being kind of subpar, that whole twist that T'Pol was just a hallucination was pretty good.
Yeah. Definitely.
I think my only gripe is that T'Pol actually came up with like really good like engineering solutions that I don't think a doctor would be able to actually think of. Because if it's just his hallucination, wouldn't his own mind come up with the solutions?
Maybe he was guessing.
Could be.
Wait, what part was he guessing about? Or making
So
up
like,
solutions?
so Phlox had to like fix the engine at one point, or hallucinate that he was fixing the engine.
Yeah.
But if the solutions that he were so if T'Pol was a hallucination, would the answer to the problem also not be one that he would initially think of himself, as opposed
So
to having?
that whole part, the doctor was constantly asking T'Pol's like, how do I fix this? What do I do? And T'Pol was just looking at him all confused. So he had to literally go read the manual. T'Pol didn't
Oh,
know
you're
because
right.
the
You're
doctor
right.
didn't
Sorry.
know.
Maybe I'm misremembering. Yeah.
She had this weird doe-eyed look in her face, and she was like crouching down on the floor, and it was.
Funny.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He had to go read the book.
Oh shit!
Yes, 7. Good.
Use your hate. Let
Do
the anger flow through you.
it.
You murdered him, is what you did.
No.
No,
Okay.
no. Incapacitated. He's not. He's not a threat anymore.
Incapacitated.
Hey, do you remember that episode Dragon's Teeth where Tuvok says, "I disabled the ships"?
By blowing them up.
He blew them the fuck up.
Good job, Tuvok.
Yes, I disabled the ships.
And then you realize half of the ship is composed by psychopaths.
So is that
I
the
mean,
doctor?
if you're crewed by Janeway, then yeah.
God, Seven's gonna have to explain the blast marks in the door.
What's the episode with the sleeping aliens? Did we already have that one?
That was Dragon's
Drag-
Teeth,
Dragon's Teeth.
where
Isn't
Tuvok
Dragon's
disables the
Teeth?
enemy ships.
I thought Dragon's Teeth was where they
Oh,
had
are you,
the
wait, are you talking about the one where it was Chakotay saving the
conduits.
ship? What was it called?
Wait, okay. Were the aliens asleep because they were in stasis, or asleep because their species just sleeps their whole lives?
The species sleeps their
Latter.
whole lives.
Okay,
And
yeah, we've had
Chakotay,
that
Wasn't
one.
Dragon's Teeth.
and Chakotay saves the day by lucid dreaming.
Right, correct. That's it.
I don't remember what it was called, but I think it was like we watched it 2 streams ago. Oh, her voice is trembling a bit.
Ooh.
She's losing that cool.
Yes, in the Flash is in a few weeks.
Your vocal modulator doesn't remove the trembling?
She just has a song in her mind.
Well, he
There's
said.
no way out of here.
Well, he said that her implants are being affected by the nebula, so maybe her modulator's being affected too.
And yes, we have done the Neelix in a space elevator. It was okay. It could have been improved by Tuvok just stunning everybody in the room when he knew one of them was a murderer.
Yeah, I mean, the whole one issue that I hate about phasers is that they have a stun setting because you can solve so many issues by just stunning everyone in the room.
The
They-
wide dispersal, please.
They do that once. Like one time, Tuvok shows up and just stuns the whole room. It's like, we'll deal with it later. I don't care.
I think in Lower Deck they actually do it pretty well. Where Mariner and Jen are in the same room and they have to stun everyone to conserve oxygen.
I loved Jen in that episode, and then she ruined it.
Yeah.
She was so good. Fucking
Good,
Jen.
good character, but like a shitty girlfriend.
It gave me the same feeling as like Stranger Things season 4, where the whole monster business didn't really worry me too much, but seeing people just be terrible to their partners really stressed me out. It's like, no, you just need to talk to them. What are you doing?
Like, it was nice to see both of them happy, but I didn't see like a potential future for either one of them with each other, unless it was like a casual fling thing. But
Oh, Mariner.
yeah, because
Well,
I think Mariner isn't Mariner like canonically afraid of commitment.
yeah, there was that whole episode about their worst fears being realized. But then at the end of that, Mariner came around to think, it's like, maybe I do actually want commitment with Jen. After she pictured her in her underwear.
And as a homicidal werewolf.
Seven is, of course, not phased by Kim being half dead because that's his usual state.
I mean, everyone on Voyager is
All
half
normal
dead.
day. Slightly wider angle lens because this is a Borg scene. Title drop.
Is it bad that I would love to see like the outtakes where like it's the point of view from like the security cameras and it just shows Seven of Nine freaking the fuck out?
At the Christmas party on the ship next year. This is going to be on the slideshow. This guy sounds familiar, actually. Looking at Memory Alpha to see who this drone is played by. Ron
Where's Icheb
Ostro.
right now?
He's not on the show
no-
yet.
Non-existent.
Wait, I thought we had them
Not yet.
Nope.
yet. Oh, okay.
They don't show up until like season 5.
I guess. All right. So I got confused because I finished the series already again a while back, and I just thought that we had already seen that.
So that's oh my. That's the episode Collective, season 6, episode 16.
Oh my god, that is barely any character development for any of them.
I really thought that they were there earlier, but no, they're just wow. And then there's the Borg baby that they never mention again.
God, I love these scenes where the actors can act out a character in character.
Yeah. I mean, Janeway said, "Blame on me." Yes, blame on you.
Yeah, all 100% of the blame for everything that's happened to them is on Janeway. She caused all of this.
Like you
Definitely,
can't set
yeah.
a timer on a bomb to close a nebula.
It wasn't
She
Janeway's
stranded
fault.
them in
It
the
was
Delta
the Starfleet
Quadrant.
admirals who ordered her to try and gain a foothold in the Delta Quadrant using technology stolen from the caretaker array.
Like, here's the thing. It's bad when a literal crazy woman's conspiracy theory makes more sense than the pilot.
You talking about yourself?
Wow. Oh, Macaulay Culkin has a son?
JJ is not crazy. She's just eccentric.
JJ.
Yeah,
Our friend
Abrams.
Justin.
Oh.
No. The crazy woman mentioned before. Something really well done is the green lighting to give you the
Yeah.
Borg effect. Oh wow, this is why we don't do stasis anymore, because
They
those
fail.
those dang stasis cryo tubes are like they have a failure rate of like 10 to 1.
Transfer power from some of the other units to these. I mean,
Hot power to Harry Kim's. She can live without oxygen or heat for 11 minutes. There's plenty in the ship.
Yeah.
She's not going to use it all up in 11 minutes.
It's not like
Good
that 23 degrees Celsius in that room will deplete right after the command, right?
I mean, we went through this earlier. It's going to get much hotter, not colder.
And
Not in
the-
11
actually-
minutes, though.
So, Seven's nanoprobes resurrected Neelix, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
yeah,
yes.
right.
So wouldn't she just be like, you just need to
Immortal?
turn her on after, like, she dies? Just a hard factory reset? Like, oh, there
Yeah,
she
don't worry
is.
about that.
It was all a dream, and you were there, and you were there, and you were there.
And how you thought it was all my fault.
But it's never my fault. I'm the captain. I'm always right.
Oh, do you think admirals... Everything they do is admirable because they are admirals.
Be
Oh.
quiet.
You mean marble, right?
Like, everything I do is very manly because I am a man.
Okay, that's legit.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if the logic
Sounds legit to
tracks
me.
there.
Ed-
It's actually
So
Is that
did you
even
know that?
soup though?
So funny thing. Do you know what the slogan for Crisco was until fairly recently?
It's actually edible.
It's digestible.
Oh,
Delicious.
So
that's great.
yeah, originally Crisco was for making candles, and when electric lights proliferated, they needed to pivot and find a new use for it. So like, I don't know, cook with it. And it was never intended to. It's horrible for cooking.
But seriously,
Yeah,
All trans
I'm
fat.
just asking myself, what has Tom Paris on his plate? What is it? Is it cheese?
It's like an alien egg thing.
it looked like a dumpling. But yeah, no, Crisco's main competitor, their starch wasn't digestible. So Crisco's whole advertising slogan is Crisco, it's digestible.
Digestible. Oh boy.
Wait a minute.
I do generally only like to eat things that are
yeah.
digestible. Not exclusively, just primarily.
You just missed the most poignant part of the episode talking about Crisco. Well done.
Yeah, who cares? She's realizing her own psychology and
And then it gets
saying
reset
she
in the
doesn't
next
want to be
episode.
alone. It doesn't matter. She fears being alone. Yeah.
Yeah, but Crisco's competitor, they had the same problem as Alestra.
My God, you actually went back to it.
Did you know that 7 of 9 is digestible?
I mean,
Really?
all protein is, so I'm
Yeah.
surprised that I'm surprised no one's made the black humor joke about drawing straws to see who eats Tom first.
We get more of Seven singing soon, so lots of sunshine coming up, and Klingon singing.
Yeah, so, okay, next week. What's next week? Next week is Hope and Fear, which I don't know what that's about. It's the
It's
season
about-
finale.
It's about the guy whose civilization was destroyed by the Borg, so...
Oh, it's Ray Wise.
Yeah.
It's the Ray Wise
He made
episode. Yeah.
He made a fake ship that he said Starfleet sent to them to blow
The
them up.
Dauntless, right?
Yeah, the Dauntless. Which makes its reappearance in Prodigy.
Wow.
Because Janeway stole the design and the name and made it her new flagship.
And we just
That's
goes, yeah,
kind
that
of
was
a
sick.
strange. It's a strange thing to do, isn't it? Like
It's fine.
somebody tried to basically murder your entire crew with a trick, and you're like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a copy of that ship, name it the same thing, and just
It's
fly
just like a
around in
big
it.
Yeah,
chat
but it was
maneuver,
Ray
though, isn't
Wise,
it?
though. We love Ray Wise.
It is a power move. It is definitely asserting dominance. Asserting dominance would have been for her to steal the ship in the first place and be like, yeah, we knew it was a trick all the time. We're taking it anyway.
All right, so after that is Night, where it's just dark outside and they're going crazy because there's no stars.
And we see Captain Proton the first time.
Yeah, and
Oh,
Janeway
yeah,
locks
Captain
herself in her
Proton,
bedroom.
great.
And is this the episode where we first get introduced to the Malon?
Yes.
Yes, and there's
Big
the
farting ships.
aliens that the Doctor teaches to speak with musical tones. It's pretty good.
No, it's just that they never experienced singing before, which is why they're enamored with him.
And then we have Drone, which is about
Wait,
the future Borg.
Wait. No, the musical aliens isn't in Night. That's in Void, which is the same concept. But with friends. That's a different episode.
Wasn't there?
And then
There.
Seven's
Yeah.
nanoprobes assimilate the Doctor's mobile emitter, creating a 29th century drone, which has the DNA of a human crew member, but also Seven's, nanoprobes.
In
So it's
short,
really-
there's the guy who's a Nazi plays a Borg drone from the future.
But it's
Yeah.
Seven's baby, which is kind of nice.
Wait, doesn't it use biological information from another crew member?
Yeah, it's a human guy.
And they explicitly say that he wasn't assimilated, it just stole DNA from him.
Right.
Okay, I guess that's better.
But basically, how Data has Lull, Seven has a 29th century baby,
Oh.
and it's really cute.
It's such a sad episode of The Offspring, but her name is literally Lol.
Her prime directive
Lol.
was to meme on Picard.
Lal means red in Hindi. It also means beloved.
She doesn't look she does. Wait, does she wear red? She might wear red.
Yeah.
No, she wears blue, doesn't she?
But when you
Also,
say my red, you mean my beloved in Hindi.
Red because blood?
Mm,
Because she's his daughter?
beloved.
So
Yeah,
they're blood related, or oil related, as it were?
Haha.
But back to that episode when she was in astrology, I think, when the Harry Kim hallucination appeared. I kinda thought about what if she just hears the song in her head with the line, "There must be some way out of here."
We're not going along the Watchtower, stop it.
I wonder if there was nothing wrong with 7. Maybe there was something wrong with the universe.
You mean like that episode with Beverly Crush?
Pressure.
Crusher?
Yeah.
Pressure, where she's in a artificial universe bubble. It's collapsing. Yes.
And the
Yeah.
traveler
But only
comes
'cause
to
she
check
believes
up
it's
on his
collapsing.
child that he's grooming.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. And his traveler plan, his weird grooming plan, worked, as we discover.
You just
Just-
wanted a nice young boy.
And
Alright,
it turns
this
out
might
they're like
creepy.
guardians of the galaxy and the timeline, and they recruit the clone lady. And it's Wesley, and it's not adult Wesley from that TNG episode, it's just Will Wheaton.
Just Will Wheaton. He walked onto set one day, and they're like, "Yeah, just roll with it."
Yeah.
Well,
what's
he didn't
that
like
TV
dress
show
up or
that-
anything. I'm pretty sure that was just his street clothes.
Yeah, right. Because it was supposed to be the 2024, so he just
Yeah.
wore whatever he was wearing.
Yeah. Which
He's Will
isn't that
Wheaton.
canonically like 1 year before World War III?
I think it's a couple, but yeah, it's not great.
But why
Which
the
means
fuck did Reyes
the-
want to stay behind?
Yeah. I don't. Did they mention that? I think they said like he helped treat people during, or the lady helped treat people during the World War. I don't remember exactly.
Like
So-
if it said like, hey, she treated Archer's maternal grandfather or something. Like, I can understand leaving her there, but like, why not just take her to the future?
Because that would contaminate the timeline, of course.
Not like it's already been contaminated all the hell.
But surely
yeah.
leaving Rios there, that's all fine. I wouldn't worry about it.
Oh, guys, I have to drop out.
Okay, well that's
For
good
me,
because the
it's-
stream is over. We're done here. Go away. Everyone, be gone.
So then I just leave.
Yes, the stream
No.
is done. I'm pressing